Coming up on Fulton Today, a list of the proper steps you can take to avoid contracting Zika or other mosquito-borne viruses. And find out how one of your shoes could save your child's life. Fulton Today starts right now. Welcome to Fulton Today, everyone. I'm Lynn Vaughn, in for Shania Chavis-Rucker. Fulton County Environmental Health Services is working vigorously to protect citizens against Zika and other mosquito-borne viruses. FGTV's Priscilla Ortega joins us now to tell us what we can do and what to be sure not to do.
Using mosquito repellent with DEET and wearing long sleeves are just two ways you can help protect yourself against the Zika virus. The Health Services Department is also spraying and larviciding all over the county. The hum of a mosquito spraying machine is just one sign of the county's Zika prevention strategy.
Well, we feel that government has to be as progressive and as proactive as possible, so we want to get as far ahead of the curve as possible.
The county has allotted about $400,000 for mosquito spraying in Fulton. The county is also making sure Clark Services, which does the actual spraying, targets certain areas.
So we feel that the seniors and young people are the most vulnerable parts of our population, so we're focusing today here in Hapeville around one of our senior centers. And so spraying has been done, and we'll be doing spraying through the end of the summer and going into the early part of the fall.
Clark Services uses the spray on bushes and foliage.
Where there's a lot of areas that adult mosquitoes can go underneath the leaf, and that's where they'll stay. Those are the ones that will come out at night.
Depending on the temperature outside, the spray can last up to 30 days. Clark Services says the spray is environmentally friendly as well.
We always try to make sure that we use the smallest amount of chemical in the product, in the water, to do the job. So we don't go and drench things. We try to follow, we absolutely follow the law in the label.
Another mosquito prevention tip you can do at home is to tip and toss. That means tipping and tossing out any stagnant water that has accumulated in flower pots, dish bowls, or any other item. If you have any questions or concerns, you can call the Mosquito Hotline at 404-613-1303. Reporting from downtown Atlanta, I'm Priscilla Ortega for FGTV.
Also, as we head into the summer months, it's important to keep in mind Fulton County is part of a statewide open burning ban that lasts through September. So if you're looking to burn the leaves and branches that fall as a result of summer pop-up thunderstorms, you may want to think again.
Fines can apply. I would like to say first that we try to focus on compliance. But in the case that there can be fines, those fines could go up to $1,000.
If you need an alternative to burning, debris can be hauled to a commercial processing, grinding, or composting operation, or even to a construction and demolition landfill. For a list of the landfills in your area, you can call 404-362-2671. Now, one other thing to keep in mind this summer is the danger involved with leaving children in hot cars. Here to bring us important information and safety tips is Corporal Maureen Smith. Corporal Smith, we thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
First, let's talk about the dangers of leaving children in hot cars, even for a moment.
Well, just a few moments, a car that's sitting in a parking lot where the temperatures are, let's say, like today. Today it's about 84 degrees, can go up to 30 to 50 degrees higher than the temperature outside in just 15 minutes. So it's very dangerous to leave a child in a hot car.
Exactly how hot can it get inside a car within just a few minutes?
So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put this thermometer inside this vehicle, and we're going to see how fast and how much that temperature rises in just a few minutes. The temperature right now in this thermometer is 80 degrees.
Now, while we're waiting for the results of our demonstration, what tips do you have for adults who say they can actually forget that a child is in the back seat of a car?
Well, I suggest that you maybe take off your left shoe and put it in the back where the baby is, so that you know that when you get out of that vehicle, you're going to have to put on your shoe. So that'll remind you to get the baby out of the vehicle. And also do some self-talk. When you get in the vehicle, say, I have my baby in the back seat. I have my baby in the back seat. Repeat it to yourself. Just put anything personal that you know that you're going to need once you get out of that vehicle in the back seat with that child.
Are there consequences that a parent can suffer if he or she leaves a child in the car, even though the child is not injured?
Yes, absolutely. Parents can face charges, and the charge will be child neglect.
Now let's go back and check our thermometer.
Okay. The temperature on the thermometer is 120 degrees, and this thermometer has been in the vehicle for less than 15 minutes. So I cannot stress enough to just be safe with your child in the back seat of the vehicle. And if you see something when you're out shopping, say something. Dial 911 and let the police know and the emergency services know what you have, and if you have to get in that vehicle, do so.
And what can citizens who come across a child left inside a car do?
If you see a child in a car and the windows are up and it's hot, do something. Call 911 and make sure the emergency services are on their way. And if you have to get in that vehicle, you need to try to get in as best you can. And you will not be faced with charges for damaging that vehicle because you're saving a life.
Well, Corporal Maureen Smith with the Fulton County Police Department, thank you so much for being with us. Really great information, and let's hope we don't have any incidences of this happening this year.
I appreciate you for having me.
And students attending Fulton County Citizens University learn the importance of safety and healthy living conditions in their communities. Week 8 of the 11-week program was spent with the police department and code enforcement, which is now under that division. Students also got a close-up look at the department's high-tech equipment like the command vehicles, special ops truck, and ATVs. Then class members got to try out some of them.
My favorite part of the class today was watching them do the hostage rescue portion.
They also learned about the training officers undergo to handle sniper situations.
Well, the favorite part was the gun range and the excitement of the SWAT team, seeing how the real SWAT, that was what's exciting to me. You know, it dispelled all my ideas of TV SWAT, but I'm glad to know the truth.
The students say they were impressed with the diversity of the department and say they plan to take the lessons learned back to their neighborhood associations. The Pryor Street entrance to Fulton County Government Center downtown is getting a makeover. Board of Commissioners Vice Chair Liz Hausman and District 4 Commissioner Joan Garner are joining forces to renovate the water garden at the Government Center.
So we're able to keep the original beauty that was done here when the building was built, but modernize it and make it more welcoming for visitors to use.
This is a vibrant project that's part of an overall downtown makeup. You know, there's $3.3 billion that's being invested into making downtown more viable. This is just one of those projects, especially with the investment of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, as well as the remake of Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. So this is keeping in line. We're in sync with the investments and the opportunities that exist here in downtown Atlanta.
The project is in Commissioner Garner's district and is part of a public-private partnership with Keep Atlanta Beautiful and the Fulton County Development Authority.
When Commissioner Hausman and Commissioner Garner approached Lou Horn and me about this project and told us about it, I was very excited.
This was something that was important to Keep Atlanta Beautiful because it is an important public space. It is the front door to the county.
Designed by world-renowned landscape architect M. Paul Friedberg, the Water Garden opened in 1989. When we come back, South Fulton residents are finally seeing the light at the end of the power outage tunnel. We'll be back in just a moment. keeping you informed on the strategy to end AIDS in Fulton County. And Greystone Power customers are no longer in the dark about their power outage issues. Here's this week's district by district coverage. We begin with Chairman John Eves at the Aldridge Health Center for the latest HIV/AIDS task force meeting. The task force has met for several months to work on a strategy to end AIDS in Fulton County.
Wonderful, productive, dynamic discussion about some bold, creative, innovative things that'll be done over the next several months in terms of raising awareness, on developing an environment of collaboration and coordination with existing partners, working with the school system, the City of Atlanta, and the other cities of Fulton County to do more of a concerted effort to address HIV/AIDS in our communities.
The task force is expected to roll out refinements to its strategy later this month. Now, the goals include an expanded sexual education program for schools and routine HIV testing at area universities like Morehouse College and Georgia State University. The task force also wants to make sure populations that are most at risk are educated about PrEP. That is a once-a-day pill regimen that, if followed properly, can keep HIV-negative people from becoming infected. And District 4 Commissioner Joan Garner shares her personal story of being diagnosed with breast cancer. Commissioner Garner spoke during a Susan G. Komen reception at the Center for Civil and Human Rights. The reception is part of a 10-city tour for the foundation. The event featured a roundtable discussion on the health disparities in breast cancer experienced by African American women.
Fulton County is very serious about the health disparities in our county, and particularly women that have breast cancer and the services, access to services and treatment that's available, and to let folks know where Fulton County stands in terms of monitoring women who have breast cancer.
Commissioner Garner was diagnosed with breast cancer in May of 2015 and is now happy to say that she is cancer-free. District 5 is no longer in the dark thanks to Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr.
This is the kind of thing that can happen when trees hit poles.
Residents were given the opportunity to express their concerns about the large and lengthy amount of power outages caused by storms to Greystone Power executives in a meeting held at the Wolf Creek Library.
I want to thank Greystone Power for coming out, for their response. They've been very responsive. They've admitted that there have been problems with downtime and electricity in the South Fulton area. They've admitted that this is the outer service, the outer limits of their service district. And they've acknowledged the problems, and they've come forth with solutions on how to fix those problems.
Both the county and Greystone Power are joining forces to create a plan of action to resolve everyone's concerns. And citizens in District 6 have a new way of cooling off this summer. Commissioner Emma Darnell was on hand to open the Duncan Park Pool and Splash Pad in Fairburn. It features water slides and decorative fountains, and it's making a splash for people of all ages. Commissioner Darnell says this new addition to Fairburn is another example of the great things that can happen when cities and the county work together.
This is a wonderful day for strengthening the partnership between Fairburn and Fulton County. Fairburn is a part of Fulton County. Fairburn residents pay taxes in Fulton County. So it's just wonderful to come together with the mayor, the city council, and all the people of Fairburn to say, let's move on forward together.
Summer camps, swim lessons, and water aerobics are just some of the activities people can enjoy. Now you can catch more of your commissioners at work all this week with the rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. There's much more just ahead on Fulton Today. Stay with us. Welcome back to Fulton Today, everyone. I'm Lynn Vaughn, in for Shania Chavis Rucker. School is out for the summer, and that means children are going to swimming pools all over the county. FGTV's FELECIA Church explains how the Environmental Health Services Division is inspecting those pools to make sure families are safe.
1,200 public pools typically open in Fulton County every summer. And the Environmental Health Division is in charge of inspecting them all.
The inspector is going to show up, assess the pool, check everything in the surrounding area of the pool, inside the pool room, the chemicals in the pool, all the safety equipment to make sure it's safe for the public and everybody that uses it.
If a pool doesn't pass inspection, then the operator must shut it down and fix the problems. Once the safety and health concerns are addressed, the county will re-inspect the pool.
Everything's good, they'll open up. If they're not good, then they would obviously fail again and have to correct anything found.
The Environmental Health Division is also responding to complaints of abandoned or neglected pools that may attract mosquitoes. There are several steps residents can take if they have an unused pool with stagnant water.
1, is cover the pool. 2, properly drain the pool of the water. Or 3, put the proper chemicals into the pool to keep the pool up the code for a swimming pool and no mosquitoes will come there.
When you go to a public pool, make sure you see safety equipment like a life preserver with a rope attached and a gate that self-closes. And you can always ask to see the inspection report before you take a dip. Reporting for FGTV, I'm FELECIA Church.
Fulton's Ryan White program will be able to help more HIV clients this year thanks to increased funding. Federal funding for the 2016 fiscal year is more than $25 million. That's a 5% increase from the last fiscal year. In 2015, the Ryan White program used 99.6% of its funding to serve more than 14,000 people.
We're really excited. It's going to allow us to do a couple of things that we've never done before. The first thing we're going to fund is insurance navigators. And what they're going to do is help people who are living with HIV disease who want to get insured under the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare to be able to hook them up with those services, to help them get the information that they need to be able to make the right choice.
The Ryan White program serves HIV clients in 20 counties in the metro Atlanta area. Funding helps low-income HIV clients get into and stay in care by addressing any obstacles they might face. The goal is to get clients virally suppressed so the amount of HIV in their bodies is very low or undetectable. For more information about the program, go to the new website, ryanwhiteatl.org. The county's Cooperative Extension Agency is answering questions about the new changes coming to nutrition labels. The updated nutrition information will have added sugars listed as well as a larger font size for the calories listing. The daily value percentages are based on a 2,000 calorie diet. The Director of Cooperative Extension says if your diet requires you to consume fewer calories, factor that into consideration.
If you are eating less than that, if your doctor has you on an 1,800 or 1,500 calorie diet, then that's going to be different for you. That label is not going to work for you at all because what you need will actually be less.
Health experts also recommend you carefully look at the suggested serving sizes because one package may contain multiple servings. Manufacturers will have to use the new labels by July of 2018. Cooperative Extension agents can answer any questions you might have about nutrition labels. You can call 404-332-2400 to speak with them directly. And still to come on Fulton Today, we'll explain why you can book on one library being greater than 3. And welcome back to Fulton Today. The final branch in the library building program is expected to open later this month. The 15,000 square foot Southeast Library is located at 1463 Pryor Road. This is the 8th new library branch constructed in the 34 branch AFPLS system since 2014.
And it has over 30 computers, it has new self-check machines, we have an expanded children's area and an entirely new collection. We chose the Southeast Atlanta Library location because it's convenient to schools, it's near a community center, and it's close for walk-up traffic in the local neighborhoods.
The Georgia Hill, Carver, and Thomasville library branches were permanently closed ahead of the grand opening of the Southeast Library, and that takes place, put it on your calendar, Thursday, June 30th at 11 a.m. Now, for more information on nearby locations, please go to afpls.org and click on Your New Libraries on the front page. And finally today, the closing ceremony for Older Americans Month brings more awareness to all of the services the county has for seniors. During the celebration at the Government Center downtown, information booths were set up to make citizens aware of the many activities available at senior centers. Included are a number of art classes, and some of the artwork created in those classes was showcased during the ceremony.
It keeps us young, keeps us, the dance keeps us, nobody in our group has dementia or Alzheimer's because we're constantly remembering what steps to do. But there's so many wonderful things for seniors, from calligraphy to poetry to music and dance.
We're showing some of the artwork that is done at the multipurpose facilities to give really employees who might be caregivers an awareness of what services we offer and what's available to their loved ones.
For more information on all of these events offered for seniors, you know what to do. Call the STARline. The number is 404-613-6000. Before we go, our reminder that we want to connect with you online. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and watch us anytime on our YouTube channel. That does it for this edition of Fulton Today. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Lynn Vaughn. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.